This ableist shit is why I was blacklisted from the film industry. In 2004, I graduated college, and the production companies I freelanced for said I quickly rose to the top of their first called list. I did shoots with 20th Century Fox, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Miracle Worker TV show, PBS, yada yada. Except I had really bad acid reflux paired with IBS-D, irritable bowel syndrome, diarrhea subtype. When my IBS flared, my GERD would get so bad I'd sometimes vomit. I'll save you the graphic stories, but you can imagine 12 to 16 hour days without being allowed bathroom breaks paired with the food that was served to production staff. I was refused accommodation, and after a couple of incidents that were minor enough that it didn't greatly impede production, though were quite unpleasant to experience, I was summarily blacklisted. At the time, I didn't know IBS could qualify for protections under the Americans with Disabilities Act, but you know what? It wouldn't have mattered. It's a freelancing business. How can you prove discrimination when they just stop calling you? And this practice is why less than 1% of the film industry has a disability, despite 26% of the American population being disabled. And yes, that 1% may just be people not disclosing disability. But if you are open about your disability, you don't get called. Because generally most people start as a PA, production assistant. They get experience, you make connections, you prove yourself, and start to work up the ladder. If you need any kind of accommodations, you, one, don't get hired if you express them, or two, you don't get called back if you have them on set, like I did. So imagine being a PA with IBS or any disability on a Chris Nolan set. If the A-list actors are frowned upon for having a bowel movement, you really think Susie Smith from Iowa would last a day? And that's not considering any feminine needs. No one does their best work when they're trying to keep from soiling themselves. While Chris Nolan is a masterful director, this approach needs to stop being commended as visionary. It creates a toxic work environment. It's ableist and discriminatory.